Hey guys, so I just got back late last night from Ecstatic Forest Festival, which is this transformational 5-day ecstatic dance focus festival that happened in Austin, Texas. I know many of you have been waiting for me to create a video about ecstatic dance. It's something I share a lot about on my Instagram. It's something I'm very passionate about. It's something I've been doing for over a decade. I feel ready now to create that video, especially since coming back from that festival and just feeling like so empowered to share more about it. I went on my Instagram and had you guys send me your questions about it. I'm gonna be answering many of those here, and also just give general information about what it is, how you can find it, what to expect if you decide to attend. Also, if you're new here, my name is Kelsey and I share various videos on this channel once a week right now, and thank you so much for watching this one. So what is ecstatic dance? At its basic core, ecstatic dance is essentially just a dance form or movement practice where it's all about freedom of movement. There's no choreography, there's no technique, there's no specific skills that need to be learned, and self-expression. That is it. It's basically just you dance however you feel called to dance. Now, there are also ecstatic dances held all over the world, and I hold one in Boise where I live. I hold one once a month, but also they're everywhere. And essentially that is like a space that has been consciously created to hold an ecstatic dance practice where people can show up and dance in community. But it's the same policies or principle of ecstatic dance of showing up in a non-judgment of anyone else, freedom of movement however you want, self-expression, and just dancing without like anyone can do it. There are no skill levels or experience required for ecstatic dance. It's accessible to everyone. So a lot of you want to know how I found ecstatic dance and how I came across it. You know, always really enjoyed dancing. Dance has always been a part of my life, and when I had been going to school in San Francisco, my best friend and I would find these drum circles in the city and just show up and dance for hours. And I had moved to Southern California and I didn't know very many people, and I was looking for community and like-minded people. And so I was like typing in keywords like dance, and I came across something called 5 Rhythms, which is, they are very similar experiences, but 5 Rhythms just has more structure. It actually has 5 different rhythms that they encourage you to move through your body. And I found it on Meetup, and I remember showing up and feeling like, oh my gosh, I found my people. It was so incredible just to be able to be in a community of people where everyone was dancing so freely with no judgment, to incredible music and just like so much self-expression. And I felt like this is it. This is what I've been looking for, and I've been essentially hooked ever since. And over the past 10 years, I have gone through phases where I've been attending ecstatic dances regularly and less regularly. I've lived in different places where it wasn't offered. You can always practice ecstatic dance within your own home. I refound ecstatic dance, not refound, but like I recommitted to the practice of ecstatic dance after COVID. This is one of the most important things to me. How is it that I'm not carving out time for it when it's being offered here in Boise where I live? So if you live in the Boise area, there are various ecstatic dances held here. I host a goddess full moon dance monthly with my friend Julie. Yeah, leave a comment if you want more information about that. So what is ecstatic dance like? It can be so jarring because it's so different from normal, like accepted activities, like going to a bar and getting drunk and dancing on the dance floor. That's very accepted. but to show up in a space freely encouraged to dance, but you're supposed to be sober. There's no like specific like this is the cool way to move grinding, or like this is like the technique. Like everyone dances so differently, and when you're there it can feel very like overwhelming with the freedom of self-expression that I think is very hard to find in normal everyday society. The ecstatic dance space is kind of like a little bubble of like, no, it's okay. You can remove that mask. You can show up here. You're not going to be judged. It's not the type of thing where you have to show up with a friend or a partner. It's very much show up by yourself or with people. It doesn't matter. There's no need to bring someone along. If you can't bring if nobody wants to go with you, that's fine. So if you were to show up to an ecstatic dance for the first time, there are some general guidelines that I would say you can expect. Those guidelines are no talking on the dance floor, besides an opening and closing circle, which I'll get to in a minute. Be sober. Ask for consent or be aware of consent when wanting to dance with other people, and no judgment of yourself and others. That's it. You don't have to know anything else, any sort of dance moves or anything. You just show up in the space and respect those guidelines. Now, there is usually also a format of how a dance is held. Sometimes bring in a DJ or live music, or they make a playlist. The general format of most ecstatic dances are, there's usually a place for you to walk in and remove your shoes, like put your stuff down that's separate from the dance floor. And then there's often like welcome music where it's like dim lighting usually, and settle in, maybe do some like meditation or just kind of like settle into the space. A lot of people lay down on the floor and just like feel present in their bodies. There's usually an opening circle. So like everyone will gather to sit in a circle where the facilitator might go over the guidelines, or sometimes people go around and say their name and like their intention for the dance. And then the dance starts. This part varies. It can last from like an hour to 2 hours, where this is like the non-talking space. And if you want to talk with somebody, you're supposed to leave the dance floor to have that conversation. And it's just music and just dancing, and expression, and all kinds of things can happen in the dance space. Like some people only dance by themselves. A lot of people dance with their eyes closed. Some people just lay on the ground the whole time. There's various forms of like partner dancing, which is like contact improv. Everyone then comes back together often for a closing circle, where usually this is a time for people to share if they would like something from their experience. There's sometimes community announcements, since it is usually a very community-based event. That's it. It's that simple. So over like the past decade of being involved in this practice, I've brought people or friends to ecstatic dance for their first time, and sometimes they love it, and sometimes they're like, absolutely, this is not for me. This is too uncomfortable. And I think that reason is because it is a space where there is so much freedom of expression. It's just a very different energy, and I personally love it. People are free. Like people will just move. It's like, I feel like you've never really seen people just freely move until you've been to an ecstatic dance. So if you decide to try it, I would recommend going more than once. Go like 3 times. Because the first time is just gonna be maybe just getting your bearings of like, what is this? What are these people doing? And you might not really feel it or feel the experience of it until you have been a couple of times. So how would you find an ecstatic dance? I mean, to find one, really Google ecstatic dance near me. You can go on various like groups like Meetup, or like Facebook is a way to find them. Places like co-ops often have information, like maybe there's a flyer about it at a co-op. It is considered often like more like hippie, spiritual, like new agey practice, those people might have information for you if you're looking for one, or if it's not accessible online, to like ask if that is something that's happening locally. You could go to those places too. I believe you are getting into these altered states of consciousness through the practice itself. It's called ecstatic dance because you truly can tap into these like states of ecstasy just in your own body. It's really hard to explain and to put words to like the feelings that can come with that, especially if you've never experienced it before. But you can get into these states of like trance where you just feel like you've tapped into something bigger than yourself, where you're in like, you feel like connected to like spirit or the universe or whatever your understanding of something higher than yourself, if you believe in that. You just feel like this deep connection to things beyond yourself and also to others, in my opinion. That's been my experience of just like this this like oneness and this overwhelming sense of love and peace and just ecstasy. Honestly, it feels so good. That is why I love it so much. And I have had so many like emotional experiences where I've just been like brought to tears of like releasing emotions or just feeling this overwhelming sense of gratitude for my body, for my life, for the world. You might experience, if you allow yourself to be free and to really like embody your body, embody your body, you might experience different or altered states of consciousness that maybe you haven't before, or maybe you've experienced it in a different format. So what are the benefits? Stress relief, like let's just get really like, instead of so crazy woo-woo, like stress relief, just like getting to like dance off the stress of the day or of the week or of the year, and just getting to like move your body, that alone, not just a workout, because it is, you dancing, that's a great workout. So you're getting all of the benefits of exercise, and then you're getting all the mental benefits again of exercise and like just like shaking off the emotions and stress relief. I would say you're getting spiritual benefits where you're feeling connected to something higher than yourself. Community benefits of feeling connected to others, building confidence. The more you practice, I feel like just showing up as yourself, even if it's just in this space alone, and just getting out of your comfort zone is gonna, I always think, builds confidence of just like, hey, I'm trying this new thing, or I'm trying this weird move, and also I'm just gonna dance really crazy and I don't care what anyone else is thinking. The more I do this, the more I can maybe tap into this in my everyday life and not just in this specific space. Also aligning with that is like feeling, to me, just being true to myself. And the more I feel like I'm doing that in a practice, the more that is showing up in my everyday life of like, no, I can actually just be myself all the time. I don't have to just be myself in dance where I can be weird and dance however I want. Like, no, I can actually just be myself and I don't have to follow the specific guidelines of anything in everyday life. I would like to give another recommendation for if you're going to be attending one for the first time. So if you're in the space and you're feeling really self-conscious and really uncomfortable, close your eyes. It's so much easier, I think, to tap into the experience of your body, and you can like feel the music and feel your body, and you're less aware of like people witnessing or what they're doing and feeling like, oh, maybe I should be moving that way, or wow, the way they're moving is really amazing, but the way I'm moving is maybe weird, I should maybe stop. It really helps you to get out of your head and into your body. If you stay in your head the whole time, you're never gonna get those experiences, you're never gonna get into your body, and you're never gonna really feel all the amazing benefits of ecstatic dance. You could even start like on the floor. Maybe you're sitting and you're just eyes closed, just moving your arms. And that's where I would start. One more thing. Ecstatic dance, yes, is held by facilitators in many places all over the world, but you do not need to attend one of those to experience it. You can do this at your own home, and I recommend doing that if you're really nervous about it, or if it's not offered where you live. Make yourself a playlist, clear out space so you can freely move however you want to. Maybe set the space even more with like some candles or like your favorite essential oil. Close my eyes, get into my body, get out of my head, and just let it flow through me. And then sit with your experience afterwards. So yeah, so that's kind of like my overview about ecstatic dance. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Kelsey. Leave your comments. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. I put out a video every Wednesday. And also my Instagram is linked down in the description. That's where you can find those dance playlists and follow me there. Thanks for watching.